Hump Day homers from Week 10. Oh, boy, Paul Allen's going to be upset.
Yeah, right. Didn't even make it.
That.
Biggest game of the year.
But
He phased them out of the show. What a jerk you are.
But he's going to be happy. But you assume that I'm handpicking those sound bites? But he's going to be happy. There's a new sheriff in town, and their name is the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, they bump up to number 1. And please, can we stop with the Eagles beat the Vikings in Week 2? Can we stop with that, please? It's right now. They didn't play this week. If they had played this week, it would be different. The Vikings have won 7 in a row. They just had their signature road win, their biggest victory away from home since 1998 when they beat the Packers on a Monday night in Lambeau Field. You bump up to number 1 when you're riding a 7-game winning streak and you're coming off of that vibe. I mean, who else would the number 1 team be right now? They have 1 loss. They've won 7 in a row. And they went to Buffalo and beat the Bills. The number 2 team lost at home to the Bills. How could you not put the Vikings at number 1? Chris, what am I missing? Who would be number 1 right now if not the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's hard to argue that. You could still argue the Eagles could be 1. You could still argue the Chiefs could be 1, too. You know, again,
how could you let that? How could you? But if the Eagles lost, how do the Eagles lose and stay at number 1? That can't be.
Well,
can't be.
Yeah, I understand. Well, you know, you can have a bad night of football, and in totality, and where you believe they are, I mean, you could still justify and say, well, I think if the Eagles and the Vikings play, I'm going to take the Eagles. I'll argue again. I mean, you said it earlier in the show. You would have never.
It's not a predictive tool.
I know
it's not
you're
a predictive tool.
I know. I get that.
I'm a predictive tool.
Well, yeah, you're a tool, all right. That's for sure. We're just trying to figure out what kind you are. But yeah, I mean, I think you could have that argument. And I know you do it a different way. But at the same time, too, I still think if the Chiefs and the Vikings played, you're going to take the Chiefs to win that football game. So that's where I'd argue with you. And that's the only thing I'll say. But I have no problem with them being the number 1. I like your top 10. I don't really have – as far as your top 10, it's hard to argue really the order in which it all lays out or anything that I would have a real problem with as far as what I look at and go, oh, man, well, that's stupid or egregious or anything like that. And I don't know if I would have made the Eagles all the way down to 3. I maybe would have kept them at 2. But I like we're talking about, I can understand the Chiefs being at 2. The Chiefs are the Chiefs, and we know they're special. I think he did a pretty good job. It's interesting. It really is. That page right there, it's 16 teams, and they're all playoff caliber football teams, and 2 of them will not be, of course. So that's where it's going to be fun this last half of the year.
Well, and there are your Giants at number 4. You got to be happy about that. Who would have ever dreamed that this team with a bad roster that was inherited by Joe Shane and Brian Daboll, the new GM and head coach respectively, would get whipped up into what they currently have? But they have been great, and they're just doing it very quietly and methodically. But there they are at 7-2. Currently in second place in the division, and they still have 2 opportunities against the Philadelphia Eagles to try to match up with them and show that maybe they are the better team, and right now they're just 1 spot behind Philly.
They got Dallas one more time, Washington twice, Philly twice. They certainly have a chance to make a run at this. Play Detroit this week, a game that we certainly look as winnable, but winnable. That's the Giants are unique a little bit. And the fact that the game has to be played a certain way, and yeah, they're not great, and the schedule is fallen the right way for them, a little like Minnesota that way, to where I don't know if I really believe they're the 4th best team in football. I don't believe that. I'm just going to tell you that. In fact, I think a lot of the teams that are below them there on your power rankings are better than them, but they continue to play the right way and be a pain in the butt. But we'll get, I think, more of a real feel for them down the stretch and see how legit they are. But, man, I'm excited for that Thanksgiving Day. That's going to break the regular season ratings record. 4:30, Cowboys, Giants, both big-time NFC power players on Thanksgiving. Wow, that might break the meter.
But it's not going to be like Giants 49ers, Monday Night Football 1990, or Bears Dolphins, Monday Night Football 1985. Those days are gone. But last year, Raiders Cowboys on Thanksgiving in that middle spot did $40.8 million.
Wow.
I got 45 as the over-under.
I hear you
Giants
there.
Cowboys.
Right.
And I think Vikings hosting Cowboys this weekend, which CBS gets on a cross-flex, is going to be a pretty big number. The biggest number of the season came on Sunday at Lambeau Field. Cowboys-Packers, 29.6 million. That's the highest audience of any game so far and one of the top 15 TV broadcasts of the year. And it's just a regular season game in the middle of the season. So Giants-Cowboys is going to be gigantic. And, hey, look, the whole day, Bills-Lions. I mean, the Lions, that it's a captive audience. There's going to be big numbers for that game. You throw the Bills into it, it's even bigger. Giants-Cowboys is going to be through the roof. And then the nightcap is Vikings-Patriots. I remember when they announced the schedule, we're like, why are they doing? Why is it? I mean, Thanksgiving night, can't you find two better teams? Nope. That's a pretty damn good game now all of a sudden on NBC on Thanksgiving night. So that whole day is going to be crazy, and it's just 8 days away.
No, it is. It's gonna. I can't wait. It's my favorite holiday of the year, certainly. But we got one more week of play here, and we got some interesting matchups. Anywhere where you were like really not sure in that top half of your power rankings, where there was a point where I should make this team maybe a few spots up. Anybody that you were kind of unsettled about?
I wasn't sure how far to drop the Bills. That was my dilemma. But you compare them to each one, right? Like there are the Dolphins. The Dolphins beat the Bills. So the Dolphins, right now have a little bit of a better vibe to them.
Yeah.
And they have the same record, same number of losses, and they beat them. So I can't have the Bills in front of the Dolphins. And then you get down around the Jets. And at first I had the Bills 8 and the Jets 9, and the Jets didn't play, and they bumped from 10 to 9. But it's like, wait a minute, I can't have the Jets in front of the Bills. They just beat them a week and a half ago. So I did that last flip. The Jets bump 2 without even playing. The Bills fall 4. But the problem is you start comparing them to these other teams in that first column, and it's hard to justify putting them ahead of them after seeing them lose 2 in a row. Yeah. They've lost 2 in a row. 2 games they should have won. They're blowing big leads. And, when they finally beat the Chiefs, I think that was when they got past this idea of not being able to win close games. They still are not very good in one-score games. They are not very good at all in one-score games. And that's something they've got to get figured out, or they're not getting to the Super Bowl. If they don't figure that out, how to win these close, tough, hard-fought games and not maybe be so predictable in their passing game when Josh Allen breaks the pocket, which Patrick Peterson has broken down very well, they're going to have a hard time advancing to the Super Bowl. But that's the one that gave me the most pause, dropping them to number 9, 4 spots down from where they were.
Yeah, I understand it. I mean, and really in both games they've lost the last 2 weeks, I'd go, I don't know. If you didn't show me the scoring plays and I just watched the game and didn't know, I'd go, well, the Bills won. I mean, there's times watching that game back yesterday, I mean, I watch a Minnesota. If you asked me in the beginning of the fourth quarter, I'd go, well, the Bills are up by 30, aren't they? They're up by 30. Like they're doing whatever they want. They can't be stopped. They're going up and down the field. But it's mistakes. It's too loose. It's rookies doing dumb things, not knocking balls down. Josh Allen dumb interceptions. They got a little bit. They got the bug right now, and they got to cure themselves of that virus there. I still think they're a team that's gonna be in this top 3 or 4 when all's said and done, but they just have hit that rough patch of the year, and we'll see how quickly they can turn it around and get rid of this, virus they got of dumb crap that they've been doing lately.
They did beat the Ravens in a one-score game week 4, and then 2 weeks later the Chiefs in a one-score game week 6, but they've lost 2 in a row by 3 points, and that is a trend they're going to have to turn around. A couple of quick questions before we take a break. Faison Rafay, 87. Who's the one team you don't want the Vikings playing in the wild card round? Without question, the Green Bay Packers. Without question. Because there'll be a bunch of cheeseheads in the stadium. It's not a very long trip. It's a border war. If the Packers find their way into the postseason field and it's 2 versus 7, Vikings versus Packers, that's the one that concerns me. It's a division rival, any division rival. I mean, Bears, Packers, or Lions, you don't want to face them in the playoffs ever because they know you well. They're not intimidated, and they would take no greater pleasure than in knocking you out and ending your so-called special season. But Aaron Rodgers, I believe, will be very dangerous if he gets in. And, yeah, that's the one team, Chris, that I think the Vikings should not want to see in the wild card round or in any round.
It's scary.
Well, listen, Tom Brady's a team you wouldn't want to see.
Well, I'm sitting here going, I don't think Minnesota wants to see anybody other than the Giants, right? I don't know. I'm one that's going to sit here and go, if San Francisco comes to town, you guys are losing. If Dallas comes to town, you're losing. If Tampa comes to town, you're losing. So I'm that guy. I'm Minnesota hater, I guess. It's official, so
Courtney,
it'll work well down the stretch.
Save it.
Yeah.
Mark it.
Yep,
save it.
Yep. You need the
Old
Giants to come to town or somebody like that because I think you're in trouble with a lot of teams coming to town. That shamrock up all 53 of your players' asses is going to fall out at some point.
but I thought so too, and I thought that point was this past weekend. And what happened was the shamrock got big. It's impacted. It can't be removed. It's there for the rest of the year.
Forever.
That's what happened on Sunday. It changed everything. It changed my perspective, and I was as gloom and doom, down in the mouth. It won't last. Their ceiling is the divisional round. They'll win just enough games to get to the playoffs, and maybe they'll get a home game in the wild card round, and they'll win that one, and then they'll go on the road to Philadelphia or Dallas or somewhere and get the crap kicked out of them. And how can you still feel that way after seeing what happened on Sunday? And maybe you say, well, they just got lucky, but at some point, luck becomes who you are. Luck manifests itself. And like I've said all week, the players believe.
Man, luck ain't going to get it done. Luck ain't going to win a Super Bowl.
It's not just luck. It's not just luck. It's a belief that you can fight through any and all adversity, and you don't get and look, and this is, my son and I were talking about this the other night, because the people who are the most unaffected by decades of Omam Shiba moments for Vikings fans where the heart's ripped out and shown to you are the players and the coaches. They don't have that history.
No, they don't care.
They don't have that connection.
They're not worried about it.
They don't care about that.
Right.
So they're impervious to the stuff. And it sets up a great juxtaposition. The fan base is like, here it comes. And the players and the coaches are like, here what comes? What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know those guys from 25 years ago. I wasn't alive.
Yeah. I wasn't alive.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, 1998?
Right.
I was born in 1999.
Right.
So it's crazy. It really is. On that same point, at Bill Stink, could the 49ers be the most dangerous team come playoff time? Yes, with one big asterisk. Jimmy Garoppolo. That's my one concern. Health of key players and Jimmy Garoppolo, because, Chris, we saw it last year in the playoffs. You can count on Jimmy G to eventually do a Jimmy G thing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we you're right. We saw it in all three games, really, in all three. Dallas, I mean, they were up 24-7. He missed a wide open Ayuk that's going to put the ball. I mean, he's got nobody around him. He's going to run down to the 5-yard line if not the touchdown. Then threw a dumb interception like the next series later, nail biter. Green Bay, we saw him throw that dumb interception at the end of the first half, running backwards, like acting like he's Josh Allen, trying to throw a ball in the back corner of the football. And then, of course, the Rams game. He is the question. Maybe that's where, again, we look at it, the Christian McCaffrey thing doesn't make it about his right arm as much and him having to do that. So we'll see where that goes. He played good the other night. But even playing good the other night, there's a sense of, they still have to manage them, and they can't just let it go like some other good teams can with their quarterback because he doesn't have a great arm. He's not very good at throwing the ball outside the numbers, and he'll do Jimmy G things that way. So the 49ers it's about team football. That's what's interesting about the NFC is there's more teams as compared to the AFC where it's quarterback-centric, and we play just around that. But, man, I mean, the 49ers are the number one defense in football, and they're not even healthy. And I just go, man, if Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw get back, I mean, watch out. Moving the ball on them is going to be a struggle. And we know that offense will continue to get better as Shanahan plays with it more and more.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.